Hi guys, this is gsmdome.ro and I'm here with the unboxing of the iPhone 16 Plus. We've already unboxed the iPhone 16 and now it's time for the bigger version, available in black. Now this handset is basically the bigger version of the basic model, and it comes with just a larger screen, a larger battery, and that's it. Of course, a larger body. Those are the only differences from the core model. They have the same camera, same processor, same RAM, and well, same front camera, obviously. Okay, so it's firing up right now. It has a beautiful matte backside, glass at the back, aluminum here, and let's see what's inside the box. This year Apple has decided to remove the stickers, sadly, so no more stickers here. We're getting a cable which goes from USB-C to USB-C. We're getting a SIM key, and of course the manuals, which are set up like this in a sort of pill shape. That's it. For the charger, you're going to have to pay extra bucks. The phone is priced at around $900 or so, and it's time to check it out. So design wise, it stays at 6.7 inches in diagonal. It doesn't go to 6.9 like the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, other things worth mentioning here. Well, the colors. The device is available in black, white, pink, teal, or ultramarine, like the other model. The camera is now vertical, it's no longer oblique. So the device measures 7.8 millimeters in thickness, just like its predecessor. It weighs 199 grams, while the predecessor weighed 201 grams, so it's a bit lighter. But it has the same width and height, the same height and width, better said. It's 160.9 over 77.8 millimeters on the iPhone 15 Plus and the new iPhone 16 Plus, so no difference between them. Okay, now aside from that, I think it's time to also discuss the materials. We're dealing with aerospatial aluminum for the frame, glass at the back, and a new ceramic shield at the front, which is supposed to be 50% harder than the iPhone 16 Plus and 2 times harder than other solutions on the market. The screen you're seeing here is a Super Retina XDR OLED 6.7 inch, which is stuck at 60 Hz, sadly, this year. Once again, 2796 over 1290 pixels, just like last year. And all the bells and whistles of the basic model, the basic 16 model, including stuff like 2000 nits of brightness, HDR10, Dolby Vision, and it can go down to 1 nits of brightness. Now, as far as the CPU is concerned, we have the IDA app to confirm that we're getting the Apple A18. Now, the model before, it had the Apple A16 from the iPhone 14 Pro, the Bionic. It's quite a jump. This one is supposed to offer 30% higher performance, 30% less battery consumption, and at the same time, it should also give you more GPU power, something like 50% or 40%, or a figure like that, an impressive figure like that. You can, in the meantime, see some of the results you achieved in benchmarks here. Now, aside from that, I should also mention that we're getting 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, which is supplemented by versions which have 256 or 512 gigabytes. The battery has increased as well. It's a 4674 mAh unit. It's an increase of 6.6% from the iPhone 15 Plus, which has a 4383 mAh. The charging is also faster, 25 watt MagSafe charging compared to the 15 watt MagSafe charging of the predecessor. The processor has a neural engine here, a 16-core one, and once again it's supposed to be faster than the predecessor. By the way, there's also 15 watts QI charging and reverse charging via USB-C to other devices, 4.5 watts. The phone has stereo speakers. There's one at the bottom and there's the earpiece here. There's not a separate speaker, and it doesn't have an audio jack. On the connectivity front, you're treated to Wi-Fi 7, 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, BDS, QZSS. There's NFC as well and ultra-wideband. We have an USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom. The sensors include Face ID, which I'm using right now to unlock the phone. Let's use it again. This. Okay, so Face ID are the sensors. You also have the accelerometer. You have the gyroscope here, as well as proximity sensor. There's also compass and the barometer, and of course the whole satellite system, which is available now to get your global positioning and some SOS systems. Now, aside from that, it's time to talk about the camera. It's the same setup as the small iPhone 16. We're getting here a 12 megapixel shooter with autofocus and 4K 60 frames per second capture next to the SL 3D sensor for Face ID and your bokeh needs. It has Dolby Vision and HDR, while at the back side we find two cameras. That's the main 48 megapixel camera with f1.6 aperture, dual pixel face detection autofocus and sensor shift OIS. Using cropping, it can take 2x zoom out of the image as if it were optical zoom. Then there is the 12 megapixel camera, ultra wide with focus, and it should be helpful for your macro needs, plus the LED flash here and 4K 60 frames per second capture. Okay, so technologies here include the fusion camera, anti-reflexive quad pixel 2 micron technology, and you can take macro with the ultra wide camera. It's supposed to capture 2.6x more able images compared to the iPhone 15, 2.6x brighter images. Okay, so let's get straight to the camera interface and see some of the options here. First of all, we have a spatial mode that lets you do captures for the Apple Vision Pro headset. We have a panorama mode available here as well. We have the portrait mode with all of its setups. And we have the photo mode here. The photo mode now includes something called undertones, which can be standard, amber, gold, rose gold, neutral, cool rose. But there are more colors. Can be tweaked to mood, which is vibrant, natural, luminous, dramatic, quiet, cozy, ethereal, black and white in 2 shades. You can also change the shades from here, tweaking the color palette, the color itself, and the tonality of the image. Okay, now aside from that, you're also getting the video capture. It can go up to 4K 60 frames per second. With a special action mode available for fast moving stuff. There's a cinematic mode with a shallow depth of field and a sort of blur like bokeh, slow motion and time lapse. A welcome feature here and a new one is the ability to capture video and at any time pause it and then start again. And of course there's the brand new camera button from here. It's a capacitive one, it's covered with sapphire glass. You press it once to activate the camera and then you can keep it pressed to start the video, for example, and you can do other things with it, like do a semi-press like this, so I can actually start switching between options. So there are multiple things you can do with it. You can either press it to switch between color profiles, or you can do the whole pressing thing if you want to do the zoom. Here you can swap between styles, tone, styles, cameras. It's an interesting approach, this one. I'm still trying to figure out how it works. So from what I know, you should also be able to press it to swap between well, zoom levels. That would be my preference going forward, and it's probably available to tweak in the settings. I'm actually going to check it out because on the iPhone 16 I tested recently, it allowed me to do that. So camera control, photographic styles, record slow-mo, grid, portraits, lens correction, macro control. We should probably find it in here somewhere. We do have options for the action button, which is this one here, usually associated with the silent mode, but can be associated with the camera, voice memo, translate, and other sorts of controls. Okay, so yeah, that's the novelty. I'm not a big fan of this button here. I consider it to be a not very welcome extra. You could have associated the action button with that, but anyway, people will probably embrace it once it lets them focus properly, I think. Now, iOS 18. I'm in Europe, so we're not getting Apple Intelligence, sadly. The Americans are getting it in October, and we're getting it probably in 2025. Siri is now smarter. It has Type to Siri, it has a more natural conversation, you have ChatGPT integration, and you can do you can have documents which are summarized. You can have audio which is turned into text. You can recognize objects like Google Lens. That's what Apple Intelligence is about. You can remove objects from images. You can do all sorts of editing with Apple Intelligence in the photos. The interface of the Photos app has changed a bit, as you can see for yourself here. It also has these options like recent days, peoples and pets. I would say it got rid of some of the, I would say, detachments between the images. It makes everything more immersive. That's the core of the new Photos app. We have the Messages apps with the RCS integrated now. You can see typing indicators, you can set high resolution images and more. That's the next logical step following the good old SMS and MMS. Let's see what else we have here. There's a passwords application now, which lets you store all the useful things. You can also have autofill. You can have your Wi-Fi passwords here. You can have passkeys, deleted stuff, security stuff. And speaking of which, any, and I do mean any application you have on your phone can be locked with Face ID. You can require Face ID. And you can do some customization as far as the looks are concerned now. You can press edit, you can do customize, and you can go with dark, automatic, or tinted. You can change the tint of your icons, make them smaller or larger, but I'm sticking to light for now. The control center has changed now, as you can see for yourself. It has 3 windows to tweak, and where the Bluetooth was before, there's now a whole connectivity suite. I find it to be a bit antiquated if you ask me, and of course you can customize all of these options and shortcuts from here. I see an interesting thing. You can turn off the device by pressing this button here, much like on the Samsung devices. There's a game mode, and now Safari has a special option here that's called hide distracting items. It's not a reading mode, but it gets rid of some of the annoying pop-ups on the screen. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And if you want something more playful, you have the flashlight, and you can tweak it from here. You can change its angle or intensity using the option here. I think that's pretty much it. I also want to show you the calculator app, which is now smarter. You can also have mathematical notes from here, solve mathematical problems, add variables and more. And the journaling app lets you annotate emotions and put them in a sort of tree to remember them properly. That's pretty much it as far as iOS 18 is concerned. This is a larger phone for people who like to consume media, consume Netflix on the go, and have more battery life. I welcome the extra battery from the predecessor. It has the same camera as the iPhone 16, and this will probably be the less bought model of the 4 units. Let's face it, even Apple is considering, even Samsung is considering retiring the Galaxy S Plus versions. It will sell for the large screen for people who can't afford the Pro Max. That's the core of the product here. For me, it's good enough thanks to the large battery and the large screen. Not very easy to handle compared to the 16 though. That's it from us. Goodbye.